You're watching BuyPBL's Gab-fest. Guest opinions do not reflect the opinions of the show's sponsors. Video and audio quality is determined by the individual partaking in the program. We apologize in advance for any enlightened views of the industry or hurt feelings.
Welcome to Gab-fest 2011, Huntington Beach, NPPL. I'm with Billy Wing, longtime Ironman player. Me and Billy go way back. I've been in this industry now almost 20 years, and his first tournament, and our first tournament was in 1997 in Atlanta with the Ironman. And give us a little bit about that day.
Oh, the first tournament in Atlanta with the Ironman. I was real excited. I was only 20 years old, and I was pumped to be there. And I think I was one of the new guys coming onto a team that had been a lot of old guys for a long time. And you and a lot of the other guys just didn't know me, didn't really trust me. I think it's the old boys club, and who's this young brat coming in? And honestly, my favorite memory of that is that we were playing Texas Storm, and you were out of Texas at the time, and Tex was on the team, and you hated that son of a bitch for some reason.
Sorry, Tex. You rubbed me the wrong way back in the day.
And we go to play him, and it just happened to work out that you and I got stuck on a tape, and a guy in the middle of the field had to go for us to break the tape. And I swung back around, got in position. You distracted him. I ran through, and it happened to be Tex, and I bunkered, and just a bare bald head, and my barrel was about an inch away from his head, and I put 2 bloody welts on his head. And you were so happy. You couldn't have cared less if we won another match, I think. And I think after that we were friends because
We were. That's when we became friends. And he was the new guy on the team, and he did earn his wings that day. And to Tex, nothing against you. That paintball needs rivalries, and at the time, I had a rivalry with the guys, and it's all when you cross into the line of the game, that's where it is. You gotta win, and when you cross the line out, you can talk to each other. It's friends after that, but inside the game, it's win at all costs, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you check your feelings and your friendships and your emotions at the gate when you walk on the field, and to reiterate that, like, I think Sunday afternoon we saw Tex at the airport, and we were all joking around about the whole incident. So, like, absolutely, it's all friends off the field. We're all paintball players, but on the field, you're out there to kill each other.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna go into some questions here that you guys have sent in. So, we're gonna ask Billy some questions now. So, how would you explain your job to someone, Billy?
Wow, my job's changed a lot over the years. I've been with Dye for 10 years now. Right now, I'm currently sales rep for South America, pretty much Latin America. Which is an awesome job. I get to travel around. You go to a lot of cool countries, a lot of cool cities, and play events, represent Dye, promote pro paintball and the product. In the past, I was gun engineer, product developer. I was assembly and production supervisor. I did all that for Dye, for all the guns and all the hard parts. And just as the company's evolved and developed and matured, I've just moved on to other things.
Awesome. All right. So, what do you consider were some of the most exciting innovations in our industry as we sit here today?
Wow. You talk about the whole industry over the whole course of the history.
I would just say, like, some of the things that really changed. Like, obviously, we were around from 10-man to hyperball to airball to X-ball to what we're doing now. Like, I guess innovations in everything and things that have changed with products.
Yeah, there's been innovations across the board. I think just over the course of the year, paint, the quality of paint has gone up. Just year after year, it goes up. It's better and better. As a player, that's something I love. I love shooting good paint. It makes it just makes a world of difference. As far as like equipment and guns, like electronics, I think electronics are one thing, but putting eyes in guns was a huge step. It really allowed you to shoot really fragile paint at that point. I think I was gonna say not toot my own horn, but in the last couple of years, the rotor has just been a phenomenal product. You come out to the tournaments now, and it's a 70, 80, 85% of the players have rotors. And there's a reason for that. It's the best loader on the market. Guns as a whole have just gotten better, more reliable. Reliability is a huge step in the last 3 or 4 years, I think.
I agree with him on that one. The rotor definitely is. The loaders have changed through the years. Obviously, when we were playing, but the rotor's definitely been a big change. All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. What does it take to become a successful innovator in our industry?
Well, that's a tough one. You know, I should be drawing off my own experiences. I flat out got lucky. I was a kid who liked to take things apart and break them and figure out how to fix them. And, you know, Dave took a chance on me, put me in, you know, just kind of brought me in. I had no formal education. And, I learned as I went. I got lucky. But how to do it really? I mean, realistically, for a consistent outcome, education, man. I mean, you gotta know your stuff at this point. The industry's really matured and developed, and, you know, companies are looking for guys who know their stuff, who can walk right in and produce for them.
So what is the process you go through to release the next big product?
Well, a lot of luck, I think, sometimes. But no, you know, most of our products are on about an 18-month to 2-year development process before we actually go into production and release it. You know, like the rotor took over 2 years to come to production and release it. But it's a lot of testing, and it's hard in this industry because it's such a small industry, and everyone's got a camera on their phone now, and everybody wants to be the guy who puts the cool thing on Facebook. So it's really hard to get testing in, and you know, it takes a lot of closed practices, and really, unfortunately, we kind of got to be dicks at practices when we're testing stuff, and we're like, no, you guys can't be over here. We don't know you. We don't trust you. You got to get away because we're testing stuff that we don't want leaked. And that's the hardest part.
All right, what's one of the hardest things about designing the products for today's players?
You know, probably the hardest part is getting good feedback. Getting
Honest, good feedback.
Good feedback that you can use. You know, you give stuff out for testing, and you know, so many guys have such, you know, very specific ways of play, or they have just their little quirks. Especially the pro guys, you know, they're superstitious. They've been doing stuff for years. You know, you want to get feedback that is broad enough that covers, you know, the majority of the players, and that's actually kind of the harder thing to get. You know, I've been playing for years. I'm set in my ways. I use a drop forward and a visor. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, how good is my input going to be on you know, the majority of the players today? You know.
Just so you know, Billy is the only pro player left in our industry that wears a visor still, and he has worn it, and he's going to continue to wear it. And I was doing the webcast at the PSP, and you were out there with that visor, and I love it. You're still doing it. You're sticking to your gun. So, all right. In your opinion, what has been an innovation flop in our industry?
Oh, an industry flop. An industry flop with a product? Man, I don't think I'd make friends if I answered that, honestly. You know, how about if I adjust that question? Yeah. Let me say that as an industry, I think being more, to say this right, it's going to come across bad to the players and the consumers, but the industry is cutting their own throats, by dropping prices, not protecting the dealers, the people that actually support and grow this sport. We're cutting them out by, you know, going retail direct, by giving no margins for stores to stay open on. You know, we're working against ourselves as manufacturers instead of working with each other. And to me, and even on tournaments and stuff like that, you know, the tournament leagues, we're fighting over pennies when we should be working to grow and share dollars. You know, that to me is the most frustrating thing that I see out there. And it's hard because the players just want everything as cheap as they can get, but you know, it gets down to the point where the manufacturers can't keep their doors open.
All right, what crazy predictions could you make about the future of products in our sport?
Crazy predictions. You know, anything's possible. You know, one of the crazy predictions I'd like to see is some big innovation with the air systems. You know, the air systems have been the same for 10, 15 years. You know, realistically, a screw-in high-pressure tank, you know, carbon fiber wrapped. You know, I'd like to see an innovation there. I'd like to see maybe innovation with you know, more real-time feedback on the guns and the velocity and like how much air is actually being consumed shot to shot. Not necessarily how many shots you're getting out of a gun or how fast your rate of fire is, but you know, some sort of measuring or with the air and stuff like that. I mean, get real good data and feedback. I mean, because without that, it's really hard to push innovation.
All right, I want to thank Billy Wing, longtime Team Ironman member, employee of Dye Precision, Dye Products, Dye Paintball.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and thanks for Gab-fest for doing the interview, being out here at Huntington Beach. Thanks to GI Sports, you guys picked us up this year, the Ironman. It's great paintballs, and it's run by paintball players, which is something that's few and far between now in companies in paintball. Actual paintball players that care about the sport and care about the players.
And I agree with that, and as well as with Billy and Dye, paintball company run by paintball players. So remember that, everybody. Gab-fest 2011, Huntington Beach. See you.
Thanks for watching BuyPBL's Gab-fest. For more information on upcoming programs, visit gab-fest.com. While you're there, join the discussions.